Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Few Minutes with Marvin, where I inspire those who aspire to make positive changes in their lives. And in this video, I'm celebrating the 1 year anniversary of my Wim Hof breathing method and my cold training, which I've done for exactly 1 year. And I'm really proud of that. Um, it's quite an accomplishment, especially since I started it during the pandemic of 2020. And I didn't do it to fix my immune system, as it were. I did it to improve my health. Not that I was had any failing health, but just based on the research I had done on Wim Hof and his techniques, and then his cold training, um, I realized. And then there were some scientific uh, videos that I watched as well, proving that these methods actually are beneficial. Um, and I'll tag a couple of the other videos that I did on my journey here and where I am now compared to where it was then. Um, One of the things that I noticed off the bat, I changed my diet. Again, this isn't, the cure-all, and it's not meant to be a cure. It's supposed to be something that you do. It's something that we should have never stopped doing since way back in the day, but we were never, you know, taught that this was good for us. Um, but I lost weight, and I had struggled to lose weight in the past, and up to this last year, I decided to not, the exercising wasn't enough for me. I had to change my diet, so I started to uh, reduce my alcohol intake. I cut out fried foods altogether, and I started to introduce um, healthier foods, greens, vegetables, fruits, that type of stuff. I started taking a fiber supplement, a soluble fiber supplement, beginning of last year, and I also was doing I was taking apple cider vinegar pills a few times a day, and I increased my water intake as well. And then when I started doing this breathing technique and the cold training, um, I stopped eating meat altogether, and it just happened. It wasn't something that I planned. I never thought that I could go without eating meat, but here I was. I just wasn't resonating with me, and I had already really, really cut down my alcohol intake to maybe a couple beers a month, not even a week. But then by July 4th of 2020, I gave it up totally, and by that time I was a complete vegetarian. And then as I continued to do these breathing exercises and cold training, October I became a vegan. And I don't like the label vegan. It's just I choose not to eat meat. I'm choosing not to eat dairy, anything produced by animal. That's all. It's not. I choose not to be put in a box, and neither should you. Do what you feel is best for you and your body, and regardless of what anybody else tells you. So back to the breathing. I've noticed, and throughout the year, I would challenge myself. You do the 3 rounds, you do either 30 seconds around, 30 breaths around, or 40 breaths around, whichever is comfortable for you. And I got to a point where a long stretch where I was doing, the 3 rounds, and in the third round, I was getting to 15 minutes of holding my breath. Not holding, but stopping my breath. It's really not, you're not doing that. You're exhaling and stopping. Um, and I got pretty proficient at it, and I was, very adamant about it. In the beginning, sometimes I would do it 2 times a day, but my goal was to at least do it once a day. And it didn't matter whether it was in the morning, at night, in the middle of the afternoon, whenever I had time. I started out consistently doing it in the morning, but then because of the pandemic, I needed to go back to work. So that became a little bit, less doable. Um, but my goal was to keep getting it in, and I did. And even if it was only, my maximum was 3 minutes on my third round, it didn't matter. I was getting the breathing technique in, and I was getting better. And at times you think, am I doing it right? I don't know if I'm doing it right, but just doing it is right. So if you get into your head, if you start doing this practicing this technique, you don't know if you're doing it right. Intuitively, you're going to. And the funny thing is, as the more you do it, in the beginning you get these, head rushes and stuff. But the longer you do it, those head rushes come and go. They're not as consistent, and you wonder, hey, am I doing it right? But you are, regardless if you get that, high or not. It's You're still on the right path. And throughout this whole, you know, year, I was I started with the cold baths, cold showers, and that's most of my training started with the cold showers. I never got to do an ice bath, which I really wanted to do, but the opportunity has not presented it to itself to my has not presented itself to me yet. But I fully intend to at some point, But um, I I consistently took those cold showers, and up until the eighth month, I would still take a deep breath and go in, very hesitantly. Um, but after the eighth month, I just walk into it like it's nothing. I still feel it, but it feels invigorating to me now. It's not a hold your breath and go and freeze for a few minutes. It's not that anymore. It was, but that's a good thing. That again, the cold training, the cold water is just a shock to your system. It's instantly activating your fight or flight, mode, which sends different signals to different parts of your body, which is designed to protect your body. So it's a good thing. It's releasing serotonin and melatonin and adrenaline, and all those things are really good for your circulatory system, your respiratory system, your organs, because it's pumping blood to everywhere your body thinks it's going to need it to protect those organs. And after, through time, it just becomes normal. And the longer you hold your breath, the more your body stays in that fight or flight mode, and it's very healthy for you. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. There are plenty of videos out there from scientists and medical practitioners that have verified this. And also, as you're breathing in oxygen, you're expelling carbon dioxide, which is really good. So I'm very oxygenated. My blood is alkaline, as they say, which is really healthy for your blood as well. So not that I ever got sick a lot. I really wasn't that person that maybe got sick once a year, maybe. Um, in 2019, I didn't get sick at all. In 2020, I got nothing, not a sniffle, nothing. Even I would get seasonal allergies. I got no allergies in my first year of doing this. Not I was allergic to animals, cats and dogs particularly. Those allergies are gone. So that's an amazing benefit of this cold training, and Wim Hof breathing. But it's also part. You got to take care of yourself. I started a good diet. Now I'm eating healthy greens, and I'm still cooking stuff, but I don't cook things all the way through. Every now and again, I'll get an urge to eat chocolate or something, and that's cool. But I'm consciously lowering my sodium intake and my sugar intake. I'm not cutting them out altogether. But not to say that if I feel a day that I need it and I want it, it's like anything else. You don't quit it cold turkey. If you want something, have it. No big deal. No guilt. No nothing. Just do it. You know, that's part of your journey. You're here to experience stuff. I I am choosing not to experience meat anymore, and that's a hard no for me now. And it's up to you, but I encourage you to reduce your intake of animal, for lack of a better word, whether it be chicken, cow, turkey, pig, it doesn't matter. They're beneficial in some ways, but the way I see it, we were never meant to eat other beings, and that's just my view on it. Again, I'm not subscribing to any particular whatever ideology. It's just my feeling, my thoughts, and my feeling. And that's what this whole thing should be about for you too. It's about what's best for you. Don't do it to impress anybody else, or to get away from their judgment of you or change their perspective of you. Do it for you. And that's what I did it for. I didn't do it for anything else. I didn't do it because of COVID. I didn't do it. I thought I saw it happening, and I saw this incredible man was doing it, and I loved it. And I was like, I can do that too. And And I used to be in my past a very competitive person, so at first it was competitive to me, challenging myself. But then I got to a point where I got, there were days I didn't feel like doing it, and in those days I was like, I had to muster the energy, and I said, okay, I don't have to push myself to 15 minutes. I can just do it for a couple minutes, and that's enough. But there are days where I will. So you pick and choose those days. And the cold training was never, there were days where I want a hot shower, and that's fine. You can take a hot shower anytime during the day, but I always started off with my cold shower. And there have been times where I take the very cold shower for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then I end with hot water just to relax my muscles or whatever if I had any tension. But I've been working on that throughout my entire journey too, since I became a life coach, and you can do it too. Um, it's not impossible. It just takes commitment, and again, you don't have to do it every day. Just start off, implementing it into your day somewhere, 1 or 2 days, if that's what you feel. It's again, it's all individual. It's up to you, but it's the benefits are amazing. Um, like I said, I sleep incredibly well through the night, with no issues. Occasionally I wake up, hearing a noise, bump in the night, whatever, especially since I moved out into the woods. Um, but and even being here in the woods, camping, I'm in a tent, and it'll get cold at night, 35, 40, you know, high 30s, and most people would be covered in blankets, and I do, because again, it's not about freezing to death. It's just about getting out of my comfort level with the cold training. But I find that once I take the blankets off in the middle of the night, my body acclimates to the ambient temperature. So if I go from I'm comfortable 65-degree under my comforter or whatever to taking it off, the temperature is now 40. My body temperature, I feel the cold at first, but then immediately, boom, it levels me. It controls my temperature. So now I'm comfortable at 40 degrees. And I know that's hard to believe, but I have a whole year of proof of that. I'm living proof that it works, and I feel amazing. And I found I don't stress out about anything anymore. And I'm not saying that's attributed fully to Wim Hof. I do meditate and I do some qigong exercises. But it's all a balance. Doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, cutting out the fried foods, cutting out the soda and the sugar, the heavy sugars, and caffeine to a certain degree. Although I drink tea, it's caffeinated, but still, it's been an amazing journey this past year, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it if you're looking to try it. And again, you don't have to start out every day. Just start out with what's comfortable with you. You want to do it for 1 day, maybe 2 days a week. Start there. Start just with the Wim Hof breathing technique first. Ease your way into the cold showers and cold training. But last July I made a vow in my video that I would not wear a coat all winter. And last winter I did not wear a coat. Most of the times I was in a t-shirt, shorts, and sneakers. And while it was snowing out, whatever weather it was. And I'm not saying that I was out there all day in it, but you're out there a good amount of time, so it becomes really uncomfortable. Because you have to get out of your comfort zone. That's when your body activates all the necessary, you know, measures, countermeasures to the cold, and that's where you get all the benefits. So that is my, experience in this last year, and there are many more things that I'm sure I'm forgetting, but I don't. I heal easier now. Um, like I said, I don't get any symptoms of any kind, and I'm being honest with you. And again, I moved from a cold climate. Now, I'm out in the woods here, and it's going to get cold this winter, and I don't know where I'm going to be beyond this. But I do know one thing is that I'm going to continue to do my Wim Hof breathing technique and cold training, cold showers, and, cold, being out in the cold as much as I possibly can stand it, because the benefits to me are priceless, honestly. And today, for the 1 year anniversary, I pushed myself even further, and I stopped breathing for 25 minutes. And I feel that I could have gone a little bit further, but that's not what this is about either. It's not about seeing how far I can go. It's just knowing that you can. So if you're ever in a situation, for example, if you have some kind of accident, you fall through the ice or fall into a lake or in the rapids or something, you just know that you can stop your breath for as long as you can to get to safety, to get your bearings, to grab a rock or limb a tree and not worry about swallowing the water and drowning. That's the way I see it, and you can too. I truly hope you enjoyed the contents of this video. If you do, please give it a like, share it, leave a comment if you're on your Wim Hof training journey, cold training as well. I'd love to hear how you're doing with it, and subscribe to my channel. It'd mean the world to me if you did. I sincerely appreciate it. And again, I am a life coach, a transformational life coach. I deal in spirituality a lot, but I also deal in common everyday things: anger, worry, fear, doubt, and help coach you through that. So if you're hesitant about doing this or hesitant about doing the cold training, check out my website, send me an email. We'll talk for 30 minutes. My decompression session is for free, the first 30 minutes, just to see if I can give you any motivation or anything that I can share, a resource with you that can help you get past that block, past that limiting belief. Go beyond your limits, because it's worth it. I've done some amazing things this year, and I attribute them to my Wim Hof training, and my cold training. So if it resonates for you, or if you're thinking about it, stop thinking about it and do it. And have an amazing day.
My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder, find your center.